guys! So today I wanted to do a more fun tag. What makeup did I wear in high school? It's an old one, but I'm ready to do it now. And yeah, so I didn't really wear makeup on a daily basis until I was about 20. So before that, it was more party makeup. And that's what I'm going to show you now first. And I sort of went through phases. So when I was 20 and I started doing my makeup daily, I would just have concealer, blush, mascara, and brows done, and that's it. And then I became a huge Lauren Conrad fan and I would wear winged eyeliner a lot. And then after a while I would wear, or no, I'm not sure if my next phase was before Lauren Conrad or after. But I had this thing with dark red lips for quite a while. Yeah. So I'm just gonna take you through those phases and show you how I did my makeup. So like I said, I'm first gonna show you how I did my party going out makeup for high school. So yeah, I didn't wear primer, setting spray, or lashes. Lashes was just way too difficult, and primer I thought was just too advanced. Setting sprays I don't think was a thing back then. I had never heard of it. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna start with my eyes because that's usually what I've always been doing. I usually always make a big mess with my eyeshadow and it just goes over all over my face and ruins my face makeup. So that's why I do my eyeshadow first. So I'm going to start with that. So again, I did not use any primer, but I had this quad from L'Oreal. If I can find any of these products, I'll insert a little picture of it, but I already tried to Google some of these things that I used to have and it was really hard to find any pictures of it, but if I can, I will. I'll quickly just show you the brushes that I still have and that I used back then. I think the only thing missing is I didn't really have this. This is the oldest flat eyeshadow brush that I have from Max Factor, but I did have another one from e.l.f. I think. I just can't find it. I don't think I've gotten rid of it, but I just, yeah. So I had a flat brush and I had two pretty much identical brushes. I think they were both from e.l.f. And then I had the most terrible blush brush from Max Factor. And then this detail brush from H&M, which I still use to this day. I normally don't use these, but I use this pretty much every day because this is my favorite detail shadow brush ever. So like I said, I had a I think it was or maybe it was Isadora. Maybe it was Isadora actually. It probably was. But it was a quad, and it had I just found some dupes. This one's from MUA and the shade name is Innocence, I think. And I had one of these white shades, or like white silvery champagne-y shades. And then there was a gold shadow, so I'm another MUA palette. Undressed is the name of this one. It's just like a dupe for the Naked One palette. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I have a cold and I have a stuffy nose. But yeah, so I'm gonna use the gold shadow that's in there, and then there was like sort of like a bronzy shade and a dark brown. So those are the ones that I found to be the closest dupes that I already have in my collection, because obviously I don't have that quad anymore. I thought I had put it in my my makeup memory box, but I have not, so that's a shame. So yeah, I had this amazing technique that I had discovered all by myself, and I was so proud of it because it took me like 2 minutes to do my eyeshadow, and it was really quick, really easy, and it's probably like 15 years since I did this technique. Very interesting technique, and I will show you. So even though I had some eyeshadow brushes, I normally would use my fingers for all of the application as much as I could. So I would start with the lightest shade. Let's see. I would start with the lightest shade, this one, and I would put it right here, and I would make like a thick layer like that. Hopefully you can see, the lighting isn't the best today, but so I did that, and then I did the gold on the inner part of my lid, and I just sort of slapped it on. This is wow. Yep, that's what I did. And then on the other half, let me think. Yeah, I put the middle, like not the darkest, but the middle toned shade, the bronze one, on the outer part, like so. And then this guy, this eye, not this guy, like that. And it's just, as you can see, very, very messy. And then lastly, I would use my detail brush for the last color. But wait, here comes the amazing technique that I did. So this was as close as I could get to a blending brush, the one from H&M, and dusty. And I would just go ahead and blend the whole thing together. No rhyme or reason for anything, really. Just blend the whole thing like that. Yep. And the other eye. So I would start blending like the lightest color going into the darkest, and then just blend it all together. And I mean, it would work to a certain extent, but yeah. So that was that. And then I took the detailed brush with the darkest shade, and I would go, I don't know if you can see, I would go a little bit along the lash line and kind of just like the outer V part, and then along the lower lash line as well. And then go back with the blending brush again. I mean, I guess this is considered sort of a blending brush. I don't know. It worked. Yeah. And as you can see, the under eyes are a complete mess. And I forgot to bring a makeup remover, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was my eyeshadow done. I don't think I used an eyeliner, a regular eyeliner, other than the liquid liner later on. Let's see, I've made a list. So yeah, for my foundation, I had a really difficult time finding a foundation for my skin tone back in the days, and I had no idea that you were supposed to choose foundation out of like what skin type you had, and I would go for those really mattifying ones, and I have dry skin, so that would not really work. And I didn't find foundations that would look natural and nice on me. And so I guess the first foundation that I could wear, but I didn't really like that one either, was the L'Oreal one that had like a brush on the cap. It was a mineral powder foundation. It could be like the very first True Match, maybe. But yeah, it was honestly just sitting in my drawers because, or in my bag, because I just didn't know how to use foundation, how to apply it, or make it look nice. So the very first product really for my face that I remember that I actually liked, hopefully I'm not forgetting anything here, but I think that was the Garnier BB cream. So the closest thing I have to a BB cream these days are the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. I have number 1. And so I'm gonna apply that. And again, like, I did not wear foundation daily. Not even when I started college. And before that, I didn't wear makeup daily. I probably said that like 10 times now. And like my eyeshadow, I applied it with my fingers. And one of the only makeup products that I've probably bought, I don't think I'm lying if I say I bought like 10 of them, was the L'Oreal Touche Magique, Touche Magique, like twist up concealer pen in the color Rose Porcelain. I think I used that up until right when I started YouTube. So that was an amazing concealer. And to be quite honest, I haven't really found anything better than that. But because I started going cruelty free, I went away from that. And also now it's like discontinued. I don't think you can find it anymore. But that was an amazing concealer. Really, truly amazing. So I don't have any like brush twist up pens, although I'm really eyeing the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Pen something concealer. That looks really nice. Let me know if you've tried that one in the comments. But yeah, the closest like color that I found to the Rose Porcelain is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage concealer in porcelain. Yeah. So I would just dot that right underneath my eyes. And I think, oh, I should probably do that. I also did my nose. And yeah, that's it. I don't do my nose really anymore. I probably should, but I don't. And again, I would use my fingers to blend out. So for eyeshadow, I really just remember this quad, and I had a single eyeshadow from, I think that was L'Oreal, or maybe Max Factor, in a gold shade that was just perfect. It was exactly like Half Baked from Urban Decay. I love that shade. And after a few years, or when I was around 20, I got the 88 palette, the one that everyone had. And I started like experimenting more with eyeshadow and makeup really, and I got really into it. I think I started watching Lauren Conrad videos on YouTube, and then it kind of spin off from there, and I found people like, what was her name? I still follow her, Juicy something. She has a sister as well. Anyways, she was one of the first ones I followed. There was so many great YouTubers back then that they were really, yeah, they were so much fun to watch. I got really, I just fell in love with the whole beauty community back then, and I learned so much from that. That became like my big hobby when I was around 20, 21 years old. And up until then, not really caring for makeup. I mean, I was allergic to makeup for a long time, but I think a part of that was because I was using the wrong products, expired products, just really bad products for the skin. And I kind of just learned a lot about ingredients and brands and the cruelty-free part, and just, yeah. So that was a spin-off, but let me continue with, what did I use? Yes, I used pressed powder. I think I used probably like a removal powder or something that wasn't right for me, that was really mattifying, and I would just use like the little spongy things that came with a box, but this is only pressed powder really that I think might work for me, and this is the only brush I have, and I used it all for the same thing, and I went all over my face when really I didn't. Now I just set my concealer or my under eyes, and that's it. And I had no idea why I was powdering, but everyone else did, so I just did what everyone else did. Yeah. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but because this brush is so stiff, it just knocked up a lot of product. So it's easy to go through products because of this one. And then no contour. I had no idea what contouring was. I tried bronzers, but they just didn't work for me because there was only really dark bronzers on the market. It wasn't really that much to choose from. Here in Norway, we had brands like Max Factor, L'Oreal, Maybelline, and Isadora. I think that was it. It's pretty much, I mean, those are the main brands to this day, but those were the brands that I usually used. And then H&M came along with their makeup back in the days when they were called Hennes and Mauritz, for those of you who remember. Yeah, and I was really eager to try out the makeup from H&M, so I had a few items from H&M. The blush, for instance, I had, but that's long gone. But I do have an H&M blusher in the color Sweet Rose, and this is very similar to the one that I used back then. Just kind of like a, looks, I think this is kind of similar to the NARS Orgasm. So I would either have this one or just like a peachy one. I can't really remember. But in 2010, I think, I bought the Benefit Coralista, and I was sold. That was my #1 favorite blush of all times. I think it still is. But yeah. So this really like stings my skin. It just makes my skin really like sore. So this is probably the most terrible brush ever. The only reason why I've kept this is to show any clients of mine how bad a brush can be and then compare it to one of my good ones like from Zoeva or Sigma or Real Techniques, how good they can be, because this is just terrible. So no highlighter. I don't think highlighter was a thing back then either. What else? Brows. Yeah, let me do brows. So for brows, I had a Duo from H&M. I don't have that anymore, and I think I repurchased that 2 or 3 times. I loved it, and I just used the brush that was in the little package. So today I'm going to use a lot of MUA today. The MUA Pro Brow Ultimate Eyebrow Kit. So I'm going to use the top 2 colors, because what I did was I didn't shape my brows or anything, didn't pluck them or nothing, which is really handy today because I haven't plucked my brows in ages. So I did the lightest brow powder kind of on the inner part, and then on the other side as well. And then the darkest one on the outer part. And I just love that. It took me like 30 seconds to do. Yep, that's what I did. So I think I'm just gonna go straight to doing the winged liner that I did like maybe when I was around 2021. I would do a liner before that, but I wasn't good at it. Not that I'm a pro now, but I think I'm just going to show you how I did that. And I had one from Isadora. It was like a liquid brush that had like a little square container, and that you would dip the brush in. I'm going to use the Physicians Formula one that I have in deep brown. Okay, I'm not good at doing, I'm probably gonna be out of frame, but yeah, so I just did a line like that, and made my eye rest like so, and I just did the line. I have kind of a lazy eye on this one, so this is really hard. Yeah, that was not the best, but yeah, this was pretty much how I did it. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. That was not perfect, but okay. And then my favorite mascara was the Max Factor Volume Lash Effect mascara. It was very similar to the orange or the purple. No, I think it was the orange one from CoverGirl. They were very similar. I think they were considered to be dupes, but that was the one that I used. Now I'm using the Model Co. Chewing Mascara. Oh, and I would curl my lashes actually sometimes. I had a lash curler. I don't have that around today. Okay, so on to lips. I spent years trying to find a dupe for this one, and had probably 10 other products that were very similar to this one that were dupes, but I just couldn't find the perfect one, and I always kept the original, the Dior Kiss 778 Red Currant. This was my all-time favorite lip color. I would also wear Lancome Juicy Tubes, especially the one in caramel. I love that one. It was like a nude brown, very like just tinted. Or the L'Oreal Glam Shine lip glosses. Yeah, I love those as well. But these like pinky berry fuchsia kind of lip glosses were my favorite. So I'm not going to put this one on, but I think I found sort of a dupe. I think this is sort of similar. So this is the Makeup Mecca Moisturizing Lip Balm Chubby Stick in Show Smile. So I'm just going to put that on. Unfortunately, I mean, I should have had this one in a lip gloss version because that was what I did. I didn't wear like a full-on lipstick. So this was probably too much coverage really for what I would wear. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yep. So that was my makeup look when I was going out. Actually, when I look at it, it's not that bad really. I could wear this. Maybe not with the lip. It's just a little bit too much going on. I would do more of a natural eye when wearing this lip, but I mean, for going out for party, it could work. It's not the worst. And it's not like I'm cringing when I watch or when I look at pictures from back then, but I'm glad I know a lot more about makeup now than I did then. So lastly, before we stop this video, I'm going to show you the dark red lipstick that I would use to wear. The one that I used was from H&M, and it was called, what was the name? Like Darling something? I can't remember, but I don't have that anymore, unfortunately. So try to imitate the color that H&M lipstick was. I'm gonna mix these two colors. This one from Duce and Winterberry. So I'm gonna put that one on first. So this is a really nice shade, but it's just too matte, I think, because the lipstick I was wearing was a little bit glossy. Yeah, that was actually very similar, but I'm gonna still put this one on top. This is the Bella Pierre Cosmetics and Cherry Pop, and this smells so good, like vanilla. Yeah, I think that's it. And again, no setting spray, no nothing like that. Yeah, it's really hard to make a nice lip when you're not using any lip liner, but yeah, this was the look that I was rocking. Yeah.